Alright, so this lesson is on index laws. In reality, we're only doing a little bit of index laws, and we're just going to revise index laws and apply them to simplify expressions. So we've actually had this word simplify many times in algebra, and it'll keep popping up. So pretty much we need to solve it, make it into simplest form. Okay. Let's do these examples. Okay, so write the following in index form. Now remember, index form is if I write x to the power of 7, the 7 is the index. Alright? A plural of it would be indices. Indices. Alright? So, let's go for it. How many A's are there? There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the answer is simply going to be A to the 5. That's what A times A times A times A times A means. Okay? Let's go to part 2. Now we're going to write everything in index forms, including the numbers. How many 2's are there? Well, there's 1, 2, 3, and there's a fourth one over here. So it's going to be 2 to the power of how many? 4, because there's 4 of them. And then I'm going to do the x's. 1, 2, 3, 4 x's multiplied to each other. So that means that's x to the 4. And that's written in index form. Alright, let's do this last one. Okay. How many A's are there? 1. How many 2's are there? 1. And how many B's are there? 2. Okay, so we simply write that as 2. We don't put 2 to the 1, even though that's still correct. We don't write it. We're just lazy about it, mathematicians. A, we don't write A to the 1, we just write A. Okay, but because there's 2 B's, we make note of that. That's 2. So that's in most simplest form. Hopefully that works out for you. Alright, I'm going to give you another 3 examples of something different. Actually, it's 4 examples. We're going to express the following in as a positive index. Alright, now, if you look at all these questions, they've all got negatives here as the indice. So we're going to change it to make them positive. And it's just one little step. We just need to use fractions. So I'll show you how we do the first one. We go equals 1 over 2 squared. Notice that I've now made this positive now. And the reason for that is that I've put a fraction and I've put it at the bottom. Okay? So essentially, if we've got a negative indice, we're going to put it at the bottom of the fraction. Let's look at this one. It's going to be the same thing. 1 over x cubed. Okay, so at the bottom of the fraction. Number 3, we're going to do the same thing, but I'm just going to do the x's first, and it's going to be x to the power of 4. Okay, but notice this 2 is positive, so if anything that's positive already needs to go on top of the fraction. Okay, because this 2 is positive already. Okay, if it was a half, then the 2 would go in the bottom. But it's not. So we need to keep it this way. Okay, there's one more to go. So I'm going to put what's at the bottom of the fraction, and I need to make positive a to the 7. Notice that this b3 is positive. So that has to stay at the top of the fraction. Oh, let's write that in pen. So b3. And then see how this 6 is positive and it's not a fraction or anything, so that stays at the top. Hopefully this makes sense. Give some a go, but that's it for this edition of Index Laws. Peace out.